George Smith, an English scientist who studied thousands of Nanawa ruins in the British Museum, on December 1862, at the Torah Society, at which time the newly established Boz, who later compared the Torah's study and research, and comparison with the other works of the Torah. He has read a storm that is very similar to the story of the Torah travel storm. Announce this excitement in scientific circles. The importance of studying other tablets, which the storm story is actually part of a detailed poem that the ancient Babylonian calls the Gilgamesh collection. The story of Gilgamesh was also written in Babylonian and during the time of Hammurabi, and a manuscript of the Hittite and Sumerian tribes was also obtained. We still do not know which source of this creation story is Babylon, either from the Israelites or another Sami race. In 1915, Langdon released a part of the Nippur tablet collection owned by the University of Pennsylvania. This text was written in Sumerian about 2000 BC. Langdon seems to be the story of paradise. It was a storm, and the defect observed in Mesopotamian texts about the creation and descent of Adam was thus eliminated. Archaeological investigations following other studies on the Ashur-Banipal library and Sumerian and Babylonian tablets as a major storm of Kish, Mesopotamia. De Morgan also caused the incident with storm and floods and late 4th geological floods. The story of Gilgamesh's epic is one of the most important works of ancient literature written in Akkadi, Sumerian, in Mesopotamian civilization and describes the life and adventures of Gilgamesh, King Uruk, one of the prominent figures in history. This epic generally includes championship, friendship, immortality search and moral conflict. Here, in a nutshell, we explain the story of Gilgamesh's epic. 1. Introducing Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh, King Uruk, is half human and half divine. He is known as a powerful and courageous king, but at the beginning of the story, he has selfish and rebellious behavior and puts the people of Uruk under oppression. People are complaining about him and asking the gods to help. 2. Genesis Enkidu. To contain Gilgamesh's behavior, they make the Enkidu gods, a savage man who lives in the plains and does not join anyone. But when Enkidu encounters a prostitute called Shel, he enters civilization and learns how to live like humans. 3. Gilgamesh and Enkidu's friendship. Enkidu and Gilgamesh come close to friends after initial clashes and then fierce struggle. The two decide to travel to the Lebanese mountains and destroy war orgles with huge creatures. They succeed in defeating the Humbaba monster, the guardian of the sacred forest, and conquering it. 4. The death of Enkidu. After returning from a trip to Lebanon, the gods punish one for violating natural laws and unfair victories. Enkidu becomes ill and eventually dies. His death is a big blow to Gilgamesh, because he realizes human death and the instability of life. 5. Searching for immortality. Gilgamesh goes on long trips to escape death and find immortality. He is searching for the outpartum, who has been rescued from the great storm for the sake of achieving eternal life. Amatime tells the story of the great storm to Gilgamesh and teaches him that eternal life is not predestined for humans. 6. Conclusion and acceptance of death. In the end, Gilgamesh realizes that no one can escape death and must spend his life completely and meaningfully. He returns to Uruk and, after changing attitudes and deeper understanding of the meaning of life, rule as a wise and kind king. The Gilgamesh epic generally consists of two main parts, one heroic adventures and physical searches for Gilgamesh and the other philosophical thoughts and searching the meaning of life and death. This story has a great impact on ancient philosophical literature and thought and is one of the most important works of literature in the world. A similar story has been mentioned in both the Storm of Noah, both in the Quran and the Torah, but the details and how they are expressed are different. Sources of the Quran on Noah's storm. In the Quran, the story of Noah is mentioned in several surahs, including the surahs of Noah, Surah 71, and Hud, Surah 11. In the Quran, Noah is selected as a prophet who strives to guide his people, but his people do not follow his messages because of their corruption and sins. God commands Noah to build a ship to save himself and the believer from the storm that is supposed to come. The storm in the Quran is mentioned as a divine doom that drowns all the people of Noah, except those who were accompanied by Noah. Verse 1140, Surah Hud, take 2 people, of each animal, until our command has erupted and the oven erupted. Verse 71:26, Surah Noah, and Noah said, My Lord, except those who believe, do not leave anyone else from my people. Quote, Torah resources on Noah's storm. In the Torah, the story of Noah's storm is detailed in Genesis, especially in chapters 6 to 9. In the Torah, the storm is cited as a divine punishment for corruption and human sins. God commands Noah to build a ship to protect his family and different types of animals to continue generations. In the Torah, the duration of the storm is 40 days and night. Genesis 6:13-14, God said to Noah, I destroy the children of human beings on earth because of their corruption, but I will save you with your families. Make a ship of poplar wood for themselves. Genesis 7:17, and the storm continued for 40 days and 40 nights. Differences and similarities. 1. The duration of the storm. In the Quran, the duration of the storm is not exactly mentioned, but in the Torah it is mentioned for 40 days and 40 nights. 2. Details of the ship. In the Quran, no details are mentioned about the ship, but in the Torah the exact dimensions of the ship are clear. 3. Rescuers. In both texts, Noah, his family and a number of believers are rescued, and in the Torah specifically referred to the names of Noah's family members, while the Quran only refers to believers. These two stories have many similarities, but there are different details, given the cultural and religious characteristics of each.